Hello everybody, this is my motivational video and it's called Freedom. Listen to me. Freedom isn't a permission slip handed to you by the same world that tried to chain you. Freedom is a violent decision, a rebellion in the heart to choose your own breath over the suffocation of expectation. Some of you are sitting there right now waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to leave. The pain behind, waiting for a sign, waiting for a permission. But what if the sign is you still breathing? What if nobody is coming to unlock the door because the door was never locked to begin with? What if the only prison guard was the fear you kept feeding? You don't need approval to live. You don't need validation to rise. You don't need the forgiveness to escape life that hurts. And that's the part of that scares people, because the moment you realize the power was always in your hands, every excuse falls apart. The freedom is messy. It rips open the truth. It exposes every lie you were told about, that you were ever told about. Your worth, it demands you love yourself loud enough to shatter every boundary they built around you. But God, when freedom comes, it feels like oxygen after drowning in a silence for years. Some of you were trained to be grateful for scraps, grateful for at least they stayed, grateful for at least I'm surviving, grateful for the life that breaks your spirit slowly enough that you don't call it destruction, you call it normal. But hear me, you are not here to survive other people's comfort. Be grateful instead for the fire in your bones that refuses to die. Be grateful that despite everything you're trying to bury, your soul still claws upward like it knows the sun is waiting. Freedom isn't soft, it's polite. It's a war inside your ribs. It's when you whisper in your chest becomes a scream. I am done living small. Look, the world doesn't fear your pain. Pain keeps you quiet. Pain keeps you obedient. Pain keeps you easy to control. What the world fears is the day you stand up because of it. The day you decide your story doesn't end where the hurt began. The day you step into your truth, like you were born to burn down every lie that told you to stay silent. You want freedom? Then walk away from what wants to keep you broken. Walk out of the rooms where your voice shakes because it's never been heard. Walk out of the conversations where they pretend your pain was your fault. Walk out of the futures others choose for you. You deserve a life that feels like you, not a lie feels like survival. And yes, it's terrifying stepping into your power. Well, feel like standing on the edge of a cliff without knowing if you can fly. But listen, freedom doesn't require certainty. Freedom requires courage. Courage to burn every bridge that leads you back into the dark. Courage to love yourself when it feels like betrayal. Courage to be the damn revolution your heart has been begging for. And when they talk, let them talk. When they doubt, let them doubt. They only fear the fire because they can feel the heat wrenching them. One day soon, they'll look up and see you standing in your power, breathing like someone who's finally tore the chains off. With their own hands, you will become the proof that freedom isn't a gift. It isn't something anyone can hand you when they were the one benefiting from your silence. It's something you take the moment you decide your heart deserves peace. So this is your moment, right here, right now, not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect, not when you feel ready, because freedom begins the instant you choose you. Stand up, speak up, walk out, breathe deep. Break every chain that ever convinced you that you need permission to be alive. And when your knees shake, when your voice trembles, when your past tries to pull you back, you look at dead in the eye and you say, I survived. I survived you. I outgrew you. You don't own me anymore because this is your life. This is your blood. This is your fight. And inside that fight lives the loudest truth you will ever know. Freedom, the day you stopped asking for permission. Look at me. There comes a moment in every survivor's life where the begging stops, where the apologies end, where the quiet one finally becomes the wild one, where the people who forced to kneel finally remembers how it feels to stand. Freedom isn't some peaceful sunrise. It's the night you decided you were done, being loyal to a life that hurts. It's the moment you looked at the cage and realized the door was open. Every damn time you cried yourself to sleep, from your silence makes you forget that. So let me remind you, you were born to be controlled. You were not born to be someone's barely enough. You were not born to just keep surviving. You were born to shake the earth. When you finally decide you have had enough, because freedom doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who say, I'm not asking more. You don't need permission to leave a room that suffocates you. You don't need permission to rewrite a future they never believed you deserved. You only need permission from yourself. And babe, you have been denied long enough. People will call you selfish when you finally choose yourself. Let them people call you dramatic. When you finally speak the truth, let them people will call you ungrateful for refusing to starve under the label of survivor. Let them, they don't get to define you while you are still learning the taste of air. Freedom is a fight, a messy, loud, terrifying fight. It is a ripping the fear out of your throat and using it as fuel to scream. I'm still here. It's choosing to love a bruised parts of yourself that no one ever bothered to see. It is walking up one day and realizing they didn't break me. They built the fire I am rising from. Your wings may look like scars, but they will still carry you into the sun. Your voice may shake it, but it will speak the truth, loud enough to wake the silent. Your heart may ache, but it still beats, and that alone is proof of rebellion. So when the world asks who gave you the right, you tell them the day one choose myself was the day I earned my freedom. I do not ask for permission anymore. I take what my soul deserves because freedom was never theirs to give. It was always yours to claim. Thank you, everyone. I know it was a long one, and I apologize, but I believe expression and motivating anybody to seek freedom is the best way I know to do. So I hope y'all enjoy this video. Thank you.